In the frozen, lightless void far beyond the last breath of sunlight, a lonely traveler drifts across the dark. It is older than most of humanity now alive, built in an age of rotary phones and slide rules, when dreams still reached for the stars. A machine born of Earth, forged in curiosity, and launched into the vast, uncaring cosmos. It was meant to study, to observe, and eventually, to fall silent. But it did not. It endured. It crossed the orbits of giants, sailed past the edge of our system, and slipped into the unknown. And recently, in the most distant reaches of interstellar space, so far from home that even light takes decades to catch up, it did something no one expected. It turned. Its sensors realigned. And instead of gazing outward, into the great mystery beyond, it looked back. Toward the sun. Toward the cradle of its origin. Toward Earth. What it discovered in that moment, what it whispered back through a thin, aging signal, shook those who listened. It was not just strange. It was impossible. The numbers didn't match the models. The patterns had shifted. The void, long thought to be silent and cold, had begun to hum. Whispers emerged from the background plasma. Rhythms from nowhere. Frequencies that matched nothing we knew, nothing we sent. It wasn't just data. It was something else. Something more. Something watching. This spacecraft, old and nearly blind, had passed through a veil. The heliopause, the boundary of the sun's influence, was never just a line. It was a threshold. A membrane. And beyond it, something stirs. For decades, Voyager had sailed in predictable silence. Cosmic rays. Solar wind. Stellar plasma. All known. All expected. But then, the readings change. Magnetic fields twisted in ways no magnet should bend. Plasma densities pulsed in a pattern, rhythmic, not random. Some called it organized turbulence. Others called it music. But what music plays in the vacuum of space? What hand conducts in the absence of air and gravity? And then, another surprise. The spacecraft's data stream stuttered. For the briefest moment, it paused. Not failed. Not broken. Just hesitated. And when it resumed, the instruments were facing the wrong way. Not toward the stars ahead. But toward us. Toward Earth. Without command. Without instruction. It had turned. Why? That's the question haunting everyone now. What could compel a 50-year-old machine, powered by a dying heart of plutonium, to reorient itself? It has no instincts. No will. And yet, it moved. And in that movement, it delivered something else. A signal. Not from Earth. Not from the stars. From somewhere, between. At first, it was dismissed as noise. Just static. A glitch. But someone listened deeper. And they found a structure. A resonance. An echo. The signal bore uncanny resemblance to a piece of Voyager's own identity. The golden record. A disk, coated in gold, bolted to the spacecraft's side, a message from Earth to the unknown. Sounds of thunder, laughter, music, greetings in dozens of languages. It was never meant to be answered. But what if it had been? What if something out there had found it? Listened. And now, replied? Scientists disagreed. Some called it coincidence. Others refused to comment. But deep in the data, something unmistakable emerged. A frequency mirrored the waveform of Earth's greeting, distorted, reversed, but undeniably familiar. Not human. But aware. And that's not all. Dust. Yes, dust. Tiny impacts began hitting Voyager's ancient detectors. They shouldn't have. There's barely any matter out there. A field? A presence? Impossible to say. And then the course shifted. Not by much, but enough. Voyager's path, long stable, had begun to bend. Not because of thrusters. Not gravity. But something unseen. Toward the sun. Toward home. And with it, the signal changed. It grew softer. Slower. Like a breath exhaling. And just before it vanished, one last pulse came through. Low. From the place Voyager had already passed. From within our solar system. From the direction of Earth. They thought it was over. Just a final flicker in the dying breath of a machine that had drifted too far for too long. But then, the echo returned. Not from the void ahead. Not from the stars behind. But from somewhere much closer. Somewhere impossible. The signal came not from interstellar space. It came from within the heliosphere. Inside the sun's great sphere of influence. Inside the solar system. The direction was unmistakable. It came from behind the spacecraft. From the direction of Earth. A perfect mirror of the previous signal, reversed in time, frequency, and form. Not a reflection. Not a bounce. But a mimic. As if someone, or something, had recorded Voyager's message from beyond, and sent it back. But not from where it had gone. From where it had come. Astronomers were baffled. No known satellite matched the position. No mission had launched into that trajectory. The area was empty. It was supposed to be. But now? There was something. Faint thermal traces. Anomalous microwave scatter. A wobble in local gravitational readings that didn't match any known planetary body. And then came the silence. Total silence. Voyager's signal ceased. No final message. No farewell. Just quiet. Like it had been absorbed. Or erased. But before it vanished, one more detail was noticed. Its last telemetry showed an impossible shadow. Not optical. Not physical. But gravitational. As if space itself had dimmed. A ripple in the vacuum. A presence with no mass, no light, and no motion. Just influence. Some called it a ghost. Others, a visitor. And still others, something much older. Something that had always been there. Waiting. Back on Earth, in underground labs and secret observatories, the data was replayed again and again. Deconstructed. Decoded. Compared to the golden record's contents. And hidden within the reversed signal, just beyond the threshold of human hearing, was something even stranger. A voice. Not a human voice. Not speech. But structured sound. Phonemes shaped like language, but none ever spoken on Earth. Eye models tried to simulate its grammar. Some claimed it resembled recursion, self-similar sequences nested inside each other. Others called it a fractal code. Endless, self-referential, alive. And in the center of this code, repeating again and again, was a simple, haunting pattern, a map. Not a map of stars. Not of planets. But of events. A timeline. Moments that hadn't happened yet. Moments from Earth's future. Predicted with eerie precision. Solar flares. Orbital anomalies. Even human decisions, recorded before they occurred. It was as if something was watching. Not from space. But from time itself. The signal wasn't just a reply. It was a loop. A feedback echo across time. Voyager had pierced the veil not of space but of chronology. Some theorists whispered what no one dared say aloud. The spacecraft had become entangled with its own future. A closed loop of observation and reflection.